What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 299 and the main card. I'm going to give you guys my full predictions because this Saturday finally we're getting probably the best fight card of the entire year, even better than UFC 300 in my honest opinion. I am super excited for this fight card. I'm going to give you guys the prediction just for the main card only because it's going to be a very long video and I don't want it to be like 40 minutes long, so I'm going to keep it just to the main card because this main card is absolutely stacked and fantastic. So let's go ahead and get right into it with the first fight of the night. And the main card is Petr Yan versus Song Yadong. A great stylistic matchup and very tough to predict. I'm going to give you obviously a prediction. But man, this is a very close fight. This fight was supposed to happen in December of last year, but Petr Yan had to, pull out of the fight due to an injury, and then Song Yadong ended up fighting, I believe, Chris Gutierrez, if I'm not mistaken, got a unanimous decision there. But I'm going to go with Petr Yan still. I'm not as confident as I was when I made a video about this fight, pretty much picking Petr Yan to win. And I'm still going to go with him, but I'm not as confident because this is a very long layoff for Petr Yan. I mean, it's been since last year, since he last fought Merab, since he actually fought a fight. So this is a pretty long layoff for Petr Yan, but let's not act like Petr Yan is a bum just because he's on a 3-fight skid right now. Petr Yan has lost to only elite competition. He's lost to Merab, who's arguably the best bantamweight on the planet, arguably. The UFC bantamweight champion is Malley, which arguably he won, by the way. You can say that he won that fight. And then he lost to Aljo, who's the second greatest bantamweight of all time. That's number one. And arguably, he won that fight as well. Not saying that he did. I thought that Aljo won that fight, but still. He arguably won it, though. Arguably. Let's not forget that he is only lost to elite-level competition. And yes, Song Yadong is an elite-level guy, but Song Yadong has not fought the competition that Petr Yan has fought. And he's still very young. He is 26 years old in comparison to Petr Yan, who is in his fighting prime pretty much at 31. Okay? Song Yadong, when he has fought elite-level competition, he lost to Corey Sandhagen. Remember that was like a doctor stoppage, if I'm not mistaken. And then he beat Marlon Vera. He did, right? But arguably, Marlon Vera won that fight. That was a very controversial decision where arguably Marlon Chito Vera won that fight. So let's not act like that Song Yadong. Listen, Song Yadong is a great fighter. Definitely a promising prospect. Only 26 years old. I think that Petr Yan, his championship pedigree, to be honest with you, is the reason why I feel like I'm leaning towards Yan. He's only lost to elite guys, and he's still one of the best fighters in the bantamweight division. And I think overall his fight game is better than Song Yadong's, especially at this current point in time. I think that his striking is better, and I think he's going to be able to keep this standing, obviously. I think maybe Song Yadong is going to have some moments in this fight where he's going to try and test the grappling. But I think Petr Yan is going to stuff these takedowns, and he's going to keep it standing, and he's going to utilize his better striking, which I do believe he is a better striker than Song Yadong in my honest opinion. And I think he's going to keep it standing, and I think he's going to just piece up Song Yadong on the feet, and he's going to get in the better of these exchanges. You know what I mean? I think that and his overall game, too, is better than Song Yadong's. I'm going to just say it right now. It's like Petr Yan, to me, is still like a top 5 bantamweight. Let's not forget that this man was just the champion a few years ago. I mean, he was the champion. Let's not pretend who Petr Yan is. Like, bro, he is still elite. I don't want to hear anybody saying Petr Yan is washed because he's not. He's still only 31 years old. He's in his fighting prime. Okay? Petr Yan is still very good. He's not 35, 36, 37 years old. He is still a young guy, a young bantamweight. And he's still very good. I can see Petr Yan still compete with... He can beat Chito Vera. Let's not forget that he can beat a guy like Chito Vera. Let's not forget that he can still beat... I don't know about Merab. Merab is a different fucking story. But he could beat a Henry Cejudo. He could beat, a lot of these guys. I mean, I don't know about who's in the top 5 right now for the bantamweights right now currently. But he still is competing with these guys. Like, he competed with the current bantamweight champion and arguably be the current bantamweight champion in Sean O'Malley. You know what I mean? A lot of people gave it to Petr Yan. Everybody was screaming robbery that night. I remember. Even though I did pick Sean O'Malley, and I thought Sean O'Malley, like, barely beat him. Like, it was barely. I can definitely see the case for Petr Yan for sure, though. Because Petr Yan had his moments, and he still looked very good in that fight. But, in my opinion, I think just the championship pedigree, you know, the experience of Petr Yan, and him facing these high-level guys is going to help him. And I know he's training his ass off for this fight. He's not letting off the gas whatsoever. I think Petr Yan is taking this fight extremely seriously because he wants to get back on the right track and back on the win column. And I think he's going to beat Song Yadong. And I think it's going to be close in some moments, but I think he's going to be able to steal rounds. I think he's going to have some really big moments in these rounds. And I think he's going to, you know, start early with the exchanges. I don't think it's going to take Yan to get going like later on because obviously it's only a 3-round fight. I think he's going to be able to get going early in that first round, and he's going to start, you know, throwing the leg kicks, and he's going to start throwing head kicks, and he's going to throw out the jab, and he's going to throw out some combinations early on. And I think he's going to pretty much win majority of these rounds. I think he might win every single round, 30-27 or 29-28. I'm leaning towards a 29-28. I can definitely maybe see Song win the first round, but then Petr Yan win the last two, and he wins by unanimous decision. I can definitely see this be a split, but I still think that Petr Yan is going to get back on the right track. I think he wins by unanimous decision, 29-28. I just think right now, Petr Yan is still an elite level guy. I still think he's one of the best fighters in the, not just in the bantamweight division, but in the UFC. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Just because he's on a few fight skid right now, that doesn't mean that he's a bad fighter. He's losing to the elite of the elite. I mean, Merab is a fucking tank, an animal, a machine. We saw that against Henry Cejudo. I mean, bro, right now, not too many people are beating Merab currently. No, not too many people. And Petr Yan fought him when he was like low-key, when Merab was at his best, at his peak. I mean, that fucking performance was absolutely insane because for 5 rounds straight, this man's gas tank looked like it wasn't letting up whatsoever. Okay? Merab is a fucking just... he's a specimen. I mean, bro, his gas tank is unreal. So, in my opinion, I think Petr Yan is going to win this fight, and I think he wins by unanimous decision. I think he's going to be able to get better in the striking exchanges. I think he's going to land more cleanly, and I think Song Yadong is going to have a tough time on the feet against him. So, I'm going to go with 29-28 Petr Yan, unanimous decision. But the next fight we got is Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. What a great fight this is, man. Another competitive fight. The odds have it for Jack Della Maddalena. I believe at first it was for Gilbert Burns. I think the favorite was Gilbert Burns, but now they have it for Jack Della Maddalena, and I tend to agree with the odds. I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to win this fight. I think this is obviously an extremely close fight. I think this fight is closer, in my opinion, than the fight between Petr Yan and Song Yadong. I think it is. I think still Gilbert Burns, even though he is 37 years old, is still a great fighter. He's still been elite, and he's been able to compete with the top 5 of the welterweight division. But I think the striking of JDM is going to be... I think he's a lot better in the striking department than Gilbert Burns, in my opinion. Yes, does Gilbert Burns have power? Absolutely. And if he hits you with something clean, you're going to be in big trouble. But Jack Della Maddalena is one of the best strikers in this division. He really is. Like, his striking is very fucking good. I believe that he is a better striker than Gilbert Burns. I really do believe so. I think Burns is going to have a tough time with the striking. That's why I think he's going to try and utilize his grappling in this fight more than anything. But I still think that JDM is going to still keep his standing for the most part. I think he might struggle in that first round, but I think he's going to be able to utilize the takedown defense pretty well. And he's going to keep his standing in the later rounds. And I think JDM will have better striking exchanges against a guy like Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, listen, his striking is not too bad, but when you compare it to Jack Della Maddalena, Jack Della Maddalena's striking is elite. Elite. And I think he's going to be able to knock Burns down at some moments in the fight. I think that he might catch him with something, maybe in the second round, or he knocks him down, and that obviously is going to lead to the judges giving the round to Jack Della Maddalena. Okay? Jack Della Maddalena has power in his hands. He has multiple first-round finishes. Not saying that he's going to finish Burns in the first round, but I can definitely see JDM getting a finish against Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is not getting any younger. I mean, for the love of God, he's 37. Gilbert Burns is 37 years old. Okay? And he is still, like I said, elite fighter. There's a reason why he's still in the top 5 of the welterweight division. But JDM has power in his hands, and if he's able to land clean on Gilbert Burns' chin, I think he can put him out. He could definitely put him out. I don't know if he's going to, but I can definitely see a world where he gets a KO victory, a knockout victory against Gilbert Burns. I think he might catch him with something. Maybe Gilbert Burns throws an overhand right, maybe gets a little too overzealous, and there's a counter punch by Jack Della Maddalena, maybe right down the middle, a straight right hand right down the middle, and he catches him and maybe puts him out, or he just knocks him down and he wins the round just because of that. I think he's going to struggle. I think Gilbert Burns will struggle in this fight, especially in the striking. I think he has to utilize his grappling in order to win this fight. There's no other way for Gilbert Burns to win this fight other than, obviously, if he can catch JDM with an overhand right or something like that and catch him, that will be obviously great. I don't know. We don't know if Jack Della Maddalena's chin is good or not. We don't know yet. But I believe it will hold up against a guy like Gilbert Burns. I think he's going to be faster. I think he's going to be more technical in the striking. And I think he's going to be able to catch him a lot more. And he might be able to rock him in many moments of the fight. And that's going to lead to him winning 29-28 to JDM. I think he's going to win the majority of the rounds. I think he's going to be able to knock him down at some point in the fight, whether that be the first, second, or third round, whatever round that may be. I think he does catch him, and I think he knocks him down. And I think that he keeps it standing for the most part. I think even later on, I think he keeps it standing. I believe he's able to do it. JDM's gas tank is not too bad. I don't think his gas tank is not really all that bad. And like I said, this is only a 3-round fight. If this is a 5-round fight, then it's a little interesting. But it's only a 3-round fight. And I think JDM keeps it standing, and he's not going to be get gassed by Gilbert Burns, I don't think. So, and I think Gilbert Burns is going to be slower than JDM, especially in the striking. So I think Jack Della Maddalena just wins just based off his striking. And I think he just knocks him down once or twice in this fight. And he can definitely knock him out, but I'm going to say that he doesn't. I say that he probably knocks him down and maybe rocks him a few times in this fight. And he wins by unanimous decision 29-28 for JDM. And that is my prediction. For the next fight, the most weirdest and craziest fight for sure. Michael Venom Page, MVP versus Kevin the Trailblazer Holland. This fight right here, man, is what the fuck I'm talking about. I love this shit. I love this fight. I don't care what nobody says. This fight is fantastic. Very, very entertaining. Two guys who put on a show. I think that this fight is going to be more of a spectacle than like a technical back and forth fight. It's just going to be just like a crazy, just fucking, like, whole lot of fuckery going on in this fight, in my honest opinion. This is definitely really tough to predict. Because Kevin Holland, it has fought elite level guys in the UFC. MVP, yes, Douglas Lima, decent fighter, solid fighter. He's also fought, I believe, he fought Mike Perry in bare knuckle. He lost to Mike Perry, but a lot of people thought he arguably won that fight. Anyway, you know, we look at MVP. MVP has not fought the level of talent that Kevin Holland has. Kevin Holland has fought, you know, really good guys. And JDM, he fought JDM and put up a really good performance. I mean, he only lost by split decision to Jack Della Maddalena. You know what I mean? So let's not act like Kevin Holland's no bum. Kevin Holland's not a bum. He's not. And he's fought definitely elite level guys. He continuously bounces back and gets victories. You know what I mean? He's able to bounce back pretty well. And he can definitely do that against Michael Venom Page. But I think the one thing that Michael Venom Page has is the fact that he's so just charismatic, when he fights, I think he's going to be able to win over the judges in the exchanges. When he gets into these striking exchanges, and I believe that Kevin Holland is going to strike with MVP. I think he wants to put on, an entertaining fight for the fans. That's how Kevin Holland is, in my honest opinion. I don't think he's going to test the grappling of MVP at all in this fight. I think MVP is going to do what he usually does, have his hands down like this, have his chin up, and throw some crazy fucking kicks. He's going to throw some flying knees. He's going to, come in with a 1-2, very dangerously come in with a 1-2, because Kevin Holland has some power, and he can definitely put out Michael Venom Pace. Let's not act like Michael Venom Pace hasn't got put out before, because he has. Douglas Lima has probably arguably one of the greatest knockouts in history, in MMA history, against MVP, where he pretty much kicked MVP when he was coming in, and he knocked him down when MVP was trying to get up. That was absolutely beautiful stuff by Douglas Lima, but that's besides the point. Not saying that Kevin Holland's going to do that. I'm not saying that he's going to do that, but still, MVP could definitely get put out for sure. I don't know if MVP can put out Kevin. Maybe he could if he catches him with something clean. Because if you see Michael Venom Page in his highlights and his fights, he's able to catch people and put them out quickly. But they're not elite level guys. These are guys that are in Bellator who are not great. They're not great fighters. Let's just be honest. Okay? Kevin Holland is like a step up in competition by like a lot for MVP. But I think he wins over the judges. I think that the judges are going to like what MVP puts out in this fight. And I don't think they... Listen, there might be a little bit of an agenda here just because they want to have MVP win this fight because he is, obviously just a super entertaining, just charismatic, crazy fucking fighter. And they might just give him some of the rounds just because of the antics. And I think obviously like MVP I think he will do very well in this fight. I'm not saying that they're going to just rob Kevin Holland just because. He's going to do some very good stuff, and he's a very good striker. Very good striker. His kicks are very good. His kicks to the body are great. Very fast. I don't know how old MVP is. I got to look at this real quick. 36. So he's a little older, but still, I do believe that MVP is still an elite level guy when it comes to just the striking. He has very good striking. I want to say he's elite when it comes to the striking. Like, I don't think MVP is as good as Jack Della Maddalena when it comes to the technical aspect. I just think that he has like that. He's just very performative. You know what I mean? But I think when it comes to that, I think he's going to throw a lot. I think this fight is going to be very back and forth. There's going to be moments where Kevin Holland has his moments, and obviously Michael Venom Page, especially early on. I think Michael MVP is going to have like really great moments in the first round, and I think he wins the first round just because he does like these crazy fucking aerial, spinning kicks and shit like that. And he's going to do crazy stuff, and that's going to win over not only the crowd but the judges as well. And I think he's going to win the second round. But I think Kevin Holland comes back in the second round, and he has a better second round. And I think he lands some good strikes, and I think he's able to win the second round. But then the third round, I think, is very close. I think that both guys are pretty even in the striking, but I think Michael Venom Page is going to be able to get in the better of some exchanges when it comes to the striking in that final round, and I think he wins by a split decision. I think it's going to be a split decision victory for Michael Venom Page, arguably maybe a robbery, and MVP gets his first win in the UFC in his debut, and I think he wins by split decision, 29-28. One judge has it for Kevin, but the other judge has it. The other two judges have it for MVP. That's what I genuinely believe. I think this is going to be a very entertaining fight. Could somebody get put out? Yes. Kevin Holland has been proven to have a really good chin. I don't know if Kevin gets put away. I don't know. Because we're talking about a guy who is... his chin stood the test of time. I haven't really seen, aside like when he got remember when he got headbutted and he was out? Like, to me, in my honest opinion, Kevin Holland has a very good chin. I don't think Michael Venom Page is going to be... He might rock him at one point in time, possibly. Like, there might be a moment where MVP maybe rocks him, especially in that first round. And then maybe he's able to, you know, to have that moment. But still, I don't think he's going to be able to put out completely Kevin Holland. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think it's going to be a split decision victory for Michael Venom Page. 29-28 split decision. That's my prediction. And finally, the fight that I'm probably the most excited for, even more probably than the main event, Benoit Saint Denis versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier. What a fucking fight this is. This is a great fight. A fight that, to me, I think a lot of people been especially Lucas Tracy. I just want to mention Lucas Tracy. Shout out to him anyway. I always give a shout out to Lucas Tracy, always. But Dustin Poirier is a lot better than what Lucas Tracy thinks he is, right? He's pretty much saying that Benoit Saint Denis is absolutely going to whitewash Dustin Poirier, and I completely disagree. This fight is going to be competitive. Definitely, for sure. Can Benoit Saint Denis put out Dustin Poirier? Yes. But let's not act like Dustin Poirier is some fucking bum. He's not. He's still one of the best lightweights on the planet, still. He's still a top 5 guy in the lightweight division. Okay? And yes, Benoit Saint Denis is definitely a promising prospect, but, I mean, this is a huge step up in competition for Benoit Saint Denis. I mean, the last fight, for the love of God, he fought Matt Frivola. Matt Frivola is nowhere near the same level of a Dustin Poirier as a fighter. There's no fucking way that anybody believes that. And yes, that was a great performance, a great knockout victory for Benoit Saint Denis. But, like, that's Matt Frivola, okay? This is not fucking, you know, like, this is the number, what is he in the rankings right now? What is Dustin Poirier in the rankings currently? Number 3. I mean, bro, you're going from, like, number what? He was 14 to number 3? I mean, get the fuck out of here. This is ridiculous. Dustin Poirier is a better striker than Benoit Saint Denis. I'm going to start right there. He is a better striker. Okay? I mean, Benoit Saint Denis has no head movement to save his fucking life. He gets hit with a lot of shots. And what is one thing that Dustin Poirier do? His output is absolutely insane. Dustin Poirier's output is fucking crazy. And he lands a lot of his strikes when he throws. Let's not pretend that the output of Dustin Poirier is not there, because it is. If Dustin Poirier didn't throw his hands, then maybe Benoit Saint Denis definitely has a chance. Which, by the way, he still does. But still, Dustin Poirier, that's the one thing that you have to worry about when it comes to Dustin Poirier is his output, his onslaught. I mean, in many of his fights, his second fight against Conor McGregor, you know, his fight against Justin Gaethje the first time, you know, there was moments in those fights where, like, and Eddie Alvarez as well, let's not forget that fight as well, where Dustin Poirier is just teeing off on people. And that's a huge problem. And Benoit Saint Denis can be in that position where he's on the cage and he's just getting teed off by Dustin Poirier. And Dustin Poirier is going to be able to put him out. You know what I mean? Let's not act like that can't happen, because it could. Like, Benoit Saint Denis, yes, 13-1, fantastic fighter. You know, promising guy, you know, in the lightweight division. But to me, this is definitely a huge step up in competition. And he's just not going to run through, I mean, unless, like, he's just that guy. I don't think he's going to run through Dustin Poirier. I mean, he will have to catch him with something crazy like how we did Matt Frivola, but listen, this is a different level of competition for Benoit Saint Denis. You know, Dustin Poirier is very good when it comes to the striking. Benoit Saint Denis is not, like, his head movement, he's going to get hit with a lot of shots. And every single round, rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and if it goes to the 5th round, I mean, Benoit Saint Denis is going to be bloodied and battered and just completely fucked. I mean, this is not great for Benoit Saint Denis, especially if it goes into the later rounds, especially in the 3rd round on. It's going to get very bad for Benoit Saint Denis, in my honest opinion, unless he's able to completely just out-grapple Dustin Poirier. But Dustin Poirier has great takedown defense, fantastic takedown defense. Like, to me, Benoit Saint Denis is obviously not on the level of a Khabib Nurmagomedov when it comes to the grappling. Charles Oliveira, I don't think either. You know what I mean? I don't think he's on these guys' levels, in my honest opinion. He's great grappling, fantastic grappling, but I don't think he's on that level. You know what I mean? Where he's going to be able to continuously take down over and over and over. I think Dustin Poirier is going to be able to keep it standing at some moments in the fight, especially later on in the third, fourth, or fifth round, if it goes past that. Which I am predicting that Dustin puts him out in the third round. I think Dustin tires Benoit Saint Denis out because Benoit's going to continue to shoot, and he's going to fail in some of those takedowns. And that's where Dustin Poirier starts to tee off, and that's where he starts to get the better of the, in the striking exchanges. And in the first round, I think Benoit's going to have a great first round. I think Benoit wins the first round basically just because he's going to have a crazy amount of output. I think he wants to take out Dustin Poirier out early. I think he wants to kind of just get this fight over with as quick as possible, in my honest opinion. And I think he's going to look for the finish. And he can definitely get it. I can definitely see a world where Benoit... Listen, weeks ago, I thought that Benoit Saint Denis was going to win this fight. I now changed my prediction to Dustin Poirier, but I think that, I thought weeks ago that Benoit was going to win this fight, and he could definitely win it 100%. I'm not saying that Benoit Saint Denis doesn't have a chance, but the fact that, Lucas Tracy is saying, like, oh, dude, like, Benoit Saint Denis, he's just overall just a better fighter, and he's just going to put away Dustin, and he's going to knock him out. Like, bro, let's not act like Dustin Poirier is no fucking bum. Dustin Poirier has fought for the championship, has fought top-level guys in his entire career. Fought elite-level guys his entire career. Okay? Benoit Saint Denis has not. I mean, Matt Frivola is the best guy that Benoit Saint Denis has ever fought in his career. Okay? And Matt Frivola is not on no level of a Dustin Poirier, in my honest opinion. I can't see it. I cannot see it. And as the fight goes on, I think that Benoit will get a little gassed, especially if he fails on these takedown attempts. I think Benoit will get a little gassed. I think maybe early on he might be able to get a takedown, maybe in that first round, maybe in the second round, but it's gonna take a lot of energy for that to happen. I think Dustin Poirier, I think the takedown defense will be there. His takedown defense is very good. Let's not act like Dustin Poirier does not have good takedown defense, because he does, okay? And yeah, I'm picking Dustin Poirier to win. I think he knocks him out. I think it's kind of similar to what happened with Eddie and what happened with Justin, where they get teed off on the cage and Dustin is throwing multiple strikes. Same thing with Conor McGregor in the second fight, where he's able to catch him and he puts him out, and then it's a TKO. I think, and maybe it's a standing TKO. I can definitely see that happen for sure, where there's a bunch of unanswered strikes by Benoit Saint Denis, like he's not throwing anything, and Dustin just continues to throw, and then it gets stopped on the cage, and Dustin Poirier wins by standing TKO. I can definitely see that happen, or maybe he knocks him down and then he just finishes off the fight, similar to what happened with Conor McGregor, and he puts him out. I can see that happen as well. Obviously, I think the chin of Benoit Saint Denis is obviously pretty solid. So I'm thinking like a standing TKO, in my opinion, where just a lot of unanswered shots from Dustin, and he eventually gets to finish in the third or fourth round. I'm thinking either third or fourth round, but I'm going to say third round TKO for Dustin Poirier. I think that right now it's a little too quick for Benoit to kind of go up in competition when it comes to, like, I think he should have probably fought somebody else, maybe like a Mateusz Gamrot or a Jalen Turner or somebody like that, because this is a huge step up in competition. I'm giving Benoit Saint Denis a chance. But I think Dustin, him being the crafty veteran that he is, I think he's going to be able to find a way to get a victory. I think he does. And I understand that he is 36 years old. He's not getting any younger. I think Dustin Poirier is 36, but he's still, like, very good. Still very, very elite. He's 35, my bad. 35 years old. Oh my God, the 35-year-old age. I don't think it's gonna hurt Dustin Poirier in this fight. Well, it could, but still, I think that Dustin Poirier is still elite at 35 years old. He's still a very good fighter, and I think he gets the TKO victory in the third round. And the main event, real quick, I'm gonna talk about this real quick because I made a video all about it. It's on the channel if you guys want to check it out. My prediction for this fight. What the fuck? I didn't mean to do all that. Whoa. O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera. I'm picking Sean O'Malley to win by unanimous decision. I think that he's just a lot better as a fighter than Marlon Vera, in my opinion. He just has to worry about the power of Marlon Vera. Anyway, my camera just went off on me. But anyway, so yeah, I think that O'Malley is going to have a tough time with Marlon Vera when it comes to just maybe he might get caught. But overall, I think that he's going to get the better of the striking. I think he's going to be able to elude, the powerful hands of Marlon Vera, and that's pretty much it. And Sean O'Malley wins by unanimous decision. And that is my predictions for the full card. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is a very long video, so I'm pretty much done here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Peace out.